down Madam Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. I guess I haven't got that quite right, I must copy and paste so often. But actually, James, it's not too late. But let me tell you a story. I've called it Once Upon a Sixth Form. You'll have to forgive me, it was late. In fact, it was very nearly Once Upon a Sixth Form, but I don't think that was quite right. But tonight I want to tell you about my flirtation with public speaking. It started as I joined the sixth form in the period between finishing what are now GCSEs and starting A-levels. I also learned about PERT charts, if you know those, and I still use those today for project planning and project control. The school decided that we ought to have some experience of public speaking. I had a go. Rubbish. Then my classmate stood up. "French public loos," he announced. Now, I'd been to France and had stayed with families with modern loos, very much like our own. But he travelled around with his families, he saw all sorts of things, and he was keen to share his sanitary experiences with us. He then spent the next 10 minutes with us enthralled with great humour, not least about the squatting procedure for using quite a few of them. But the point is this, nearly 40 years later, that is the only one that talks that day that sticks in my memory. An oddball subject, delivered with great humour, and I might aspire to that, but may not yet have reached it. Roll forward 10 years, and my company sent several of us onto a public speaking course. Again, I was rubbish, but the person I remember was a rather quiet lab scientist. This was a scientific company, who suddenly came alive. As he spoke, he strutted it out, he waved his arms. And I remember him. I don't remember what he was talking about, but I do remember him. And so it was another 10 years before I felt up to talking in public. And only because I felt I could do a better job than the talk I just heard. And as it so happens, with the referendum just gone, this was all about the introduction of the euro, but from a financial point of view. And since then I've spoken to groups on several occasions. In fact, I ran something like 28 events where I was chairman of the events. I would invite the best speakers I could find to talk about various topics under the title of the Internet Business Forum, how the Internet could change businesses. This was the early 2000s. And so I would do a bit of a news roundup at the beginning of each of these events and then pass the baton to these invited speakers. And I'd give out evaluation forms. When they came back, there'd always be one or two of the speakers who would get 5s out of 5s. These were guys who regularly did keynote speeches. But I was always beat one or two of the other speakers. So I felt I was good, but I could be better. I've even spoken for a few minutes on live TV and hope to be doing a lot more. And that's in fact why I've joined this forum. And for that I need to do much better. No doubt I picked up some nasty habits. It's been 5 or so years since I last did a public talk, in fact. And I'm looking forward to the feedback that you can give me this evening. Particularly those nasty habits, but anything that you actually like. Help me up the level of 3. So that's the main point of me talking this evening. But let me tell you a bit more about myself, because it's supposed to be about that. I was actually here on Saturday evening, but that mixing desk there was in full throttle. And I rather like dancing, and so there was a live band here, and they presented the best dancer of the night award. Yeah. And if the BBC were to have a best dad dancer, because I've got 4 kids, best dad dancer award. Next time they run So You Think You Can Dance, I think I'd have a reasonably good chance. But apart from that, I very nearly bought this place 4 years ago when I moved into the area. Got to know the then owner. He was just finalising a deal with the now current owner. And I couldn't muster the funds in time. So maybe one day this place will be mine. Because first and foremost, I'm a musician. One day I'll bring on my violin and play. But I also play the drums as well. So just to finish off, just a quick little. Thank you.